When you open yourself up to the possibility of who you can be and you take care of yourself,
Then you might become a lesbian.
then you might become a lesbian.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
How are you?
I love being in this place.
Here we are.
Yeah. We're going to have a little conversation about other things that are not comfortable, but this is my comfort zone. I am here.
Studio.
In the studio. How about
In
that?
the studio. Little recording sesh.
I feel fancy.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels natural. Like we should have some, big music pumping and weights in our
That would
hands.
be
And that might
fun.
happen before it's over with.
We'll do some push-ups.
Yeah.
Keep
we'll
the
do-
blood
That's a good idea.
flowing. I feel naked because usually
You
I
feel
wear
naked? You look really good. Little animal print going today.
Hey. Well, if I get hot, I'll take it off.
How do I look?
Really good.
I'm actually warm in here.
I know.
I know.
I'm like,
it's just the way we go.
It's
Yeah.
the way we
You look hot, though.
roll.
So-
Thanks so much. Yeah, no, I feel naked because I don't have my headset on because our producer is here helping us today.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel super professional. So we're going to talk about a subject today that is near and dear to Lee's heart: discomfort.
Yay.
And by the way, not to say that my whole life has not been one big uncomfortable walk through a mess, but I think I'm just more used to it. But
yeah, you're way better.
well, I don't know if you ever get used to being uncomfortable, but
It's
I've
a
been
good
uncomfortable
question.
so long that I'm like, I consider that level
No,
normal.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Do you get uncomfortable? When was the last
Yes.
time you were uncomfortable?
I don't know. Today, uncomfortable when I had to get the locksmith to open up your car, and I was
Was
barefoot in the parking lot of Duke Mansion. I was super uncomfortable because I didn't know where my shoes were. Actually, I knew where my shoes were, but everything was locked in the car. So I was super uncomfortable at that point. But I pushed through. I smiled. I laughed. I made jokes while he charged me $245.
Should we back up this story?
Let's back it up.
God, give me a real example.
Okay, I would say that the last time I had the big uncomfortableness was coming out as not a heterosexual human. That was big. It is still interesting. Now and then I'm a little uncomfortable, especially in the atmosphere, the framework of society right now, where there's still people that are super uncomfortable with people like me and you.
Right.
While I'm not, it's a totally different thing to say I'm uncomfortable in my skin being me and you. But what I'm uncomfortable with is the fact that that's still even an issue.
Right.
But that also lends fuel to the fire of reminding people that we're all very much alike and to accept all different stripes.
Sure.
So, I'm not with you because that's my mission in life, but because I'm with you, it's a constant
Right.
remembering, like when we're in public, and especially here in Charlotte, you're more affectionate in public.
Right.
And I'll just literally go, no. And I'll like drop your hand, or you'll get too close and I'll go, whoa, no.
I know, that's so true.
It's
and
weird,
I'm the
isn't
one
it?
that doesn't
Yeah.
like that very much. So it
Yeah.
is interesting that
Yeah.
you're generally a little more uncomfortable than I am.
Right. And, I like to say all the time, oh, I'm just trying to, I don't want to be out there flamboyant with who I am. I feel like I have a way in the community that I like to be. But in a way, that's a cop-out.
I was about to say.
It's a
I mean,
cop-out, and I admit it. And so that uncomfortableness, I let that dictate me sometimes. And it's not that I don't want to be close to you, hold your hand, you snuggle up against me. It's that I'm just going to admit, I'm worried about what others think. Who hasn't been? But I know that if I was with my ex-husband, I wouldn't be worried about what others think. And
Interesting.
It's also interesting for me to say that I'm worried about what others think.
Period.
Because I preach all the time, own who you are. But that doesn't mean you're not. It doesn't mean you're not comfortable with it. Yeah, it bothers me.
What bothers you? The homosexuality of us that people interpret, or the PDA?
Oh no, the homosexuality.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was never a big PDA girl.
Right.
But sometimes it's okay, and sometimes I should be holding your hand.
Well, it should. What do
No,
you
no,
mean?
no. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, no. Sometimes it's perfectly acceptable for me to do that.
When? What makes it acceptable?
Just whenever that's just the natural state of life. I mean,
Sure.
Just if it's a natural thing, do it.
But I notice it is being in this town.
Yeah. But when we're out of town, we are, me,
Then you
I will
let
speak
go
for
a little.
myself. Oh, I'm ridiculous.
No, you're not ridiculous.
I'm
Don't
a
give
little
yourself that much credit.
If they're speaking different language for me, I am a little bit fast forward on that stuff. I'm a fast forward.
So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So it is about keeping up the appearance of a business
God, how
owner in
embarrassing.
Charlotte.
Yeah, that's
But I
embarrassing,
mean,
but it's true.
it's true.
Yeah, it's true. And I still go back. I never had no trouble when I was, an issue with that when I was with a man. And I have an issue with it when I'm with a woman. Now, am I carrying my own bias in my own life? Probably. We find ourselves we were in an airport in Nice, and we looked at two women making out before they got on the plane. And you and I, you were there. We were really tired. It was that morning we left. Anyway, we looked at each other, and we both said, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
And we both admitted at that point, wow, we still carry some sort of a bias in us that's just not cool in public for two women. And that's me and you.
I also have always said, but I don't necessarily want to see a heterosexual couple making out, right? So it's more.
It's true.
That's why I asked you.
I don't know. Sometimes I do. It depends on if they're good or not. If they're good at making out, I want to watch them. Oh, yeah.
Do you have an attractive bias too?
Probably, because I really like good-looking couples that make out. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Could we cut that?
Good-looking couples who make out.
Okay.
Hold
Can
on.
I just tell you about the Duke Mansion last night? Segue.
Oh my God, we've got a lot of stories going on.
We got a lot of stories going on. We're going to come right back to being uncomfortable in the situation, but we were at the Duke Mansion spending the night. So we were at our staycation because we joined the Preservation Society. I kept going, is it the Hermitage Society? It's the Preservation Society, which we highly recommend for anyone in their own city, but in Charlotte. Gosh, what a jewel we have with the Duke Mansion. And it just happens to be really close to our studio. So we went for our night for free because we had joined the society, and it is so beautiful. You feel like you're walking back in time.
Yes.
When you go in here. So we're having this great night. We're getting ready to walk the gardens before we go to dinner. No, we've already walked the gardens. We've come home.
Okay. We were reading in the upstairs, the second floor, the history of the Duke Mansion and who's owned it when, etc. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, there's a baby crying.
Yeah. And so I'm reading all this stuff going, hey, wow, John F. Kennedy visited here. And, we were just kind of chatting. And I realized I'm not talking to anyone. Lee has walked away. She's at the end of the hall. I'm like, what is that sound? And we went down to the end of the hall, and somebody was getting it. And I mean, getting it. We heard the smacking at the bottom. We heard the whole thing. And they were like, oh. And I was
stop.
like,
don't read it.
Anyway.
I can't unhear it.
And so,
no, I don't need to hear that from you.
We couldn't unhear it. We couldn't walk away.
It made me feel so gross. Like,
no, it didn't.
Somebody have
if
sex,
it made you feel so gross, why were you?
It's like watching a
Why
train
were you
wreck.
stuck to the floor?
I was like,
you couldn't
my
move.
gosh, I was like, come here. You've got to hear this too.
They were getting it. And it was like, oh, yeah. What? Who is this? And who's at the Duke Mansion making all this noise? It's like, you just think like everyone's even dignified in their bedroom. Apparently, they were having some fun. So, yeah, that was I was uncomfortable. We were not uncomfortable.
We were.
I was not. I was
wow.
like, that's hot. I thought it was great.
Oh, my God.
What?
I was just curious and like, whoa.
Yeah.
And anyway, I don't want to say anymore.
Yeah. So, before we hear the sexual excitement, we check into our fabulous room. We stayed in the best room, the Harris room. It's so good. It's got this own private porch. We walk in. It's a massive bedroom. Put our things down, and on the desk is the SouthPark Magazine, where Lee is on the cover, and there's the Scout Guide, where I'm in it. And we're like, shit, we just can't even get away from ourselves, can we? I mean,
unfortunately,
here we are with ourselves. So we made it. So we were like flipping through the pages of the magazines, going, "There I am, there you are."
God.
And but talking about uncomfortable.
Yes. So let's talk about SouthPark Magazine every September does an IT List. And 8 years ago, you were in the first one.
I was.
You were the very first one. There was like
with Whitley,
a small handful of women, and y'all were in gowns, and it was just beautiful. And every year, Whitley Adkins is the
she's so
editor and stylist, and Richard Israel is the photographer, and they have continued to do this every year, and added on to the Charlotteans, who it's
really cool. I mean, they pick out several different people from different walks of life.
It's very unique. I loved it.
Where were we when you slid in that they had asked you to do it? We were on a trip.
We were in France.
We were in France
this summer. So I got an email. It was like, confidential. You've been asked to be in this. And I literally, because that email can go to the info at the studio, I literally replied with, "Did you mean this for me?" Because I'm like, this shirt was in the magazine because it's one of the three that I
own. But what do you remember the exact words you used when you told me you had been invited to do this?
No, I just remember I said to them, "I don't think you mean this for me." And then she said very kindly, "Yes, I did. I've watched your style evolve." And that was very flattering, and I was honored. And so I said yes. And then to you, I said, I'm not doing it.
No, you did not say yes. You just said, thank you.
Well, I said yes, and then I told you I wasn't going to do it.
Okay, then she comes up to me and she goes, "You're going to be mad at me because I'm not going to do this, and you're going to be mad at me when I tell you what it is." And I'm like, "Well, okay, tell me what it is." And you were like, "Well, they've invited me to be an it girl for SouthPark Magazine. And of course, I'm going to say no." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What do you mean you're going to say no? Why?" And
I was going to back out.
You were going to back out and tell us why, because it made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it sure did.
Why did it make you uncomfortable?
Okay. I had a lot of reasons. I'm trying to remember what they were because this was a bit ago, and now it's done and out, and I'm thrilled with it. So, lesson learned. Magic. Thank you very much. Well, we were just coming back from France, so I thought that I would look all haggard.
Oh,
and
please.
Vacation ridden.
Makeup and all that is
magic.
Two,
I didn't feel like I had the attire and outfits, which is halfway true because 2 of the 3 outfits were mine and 1 was my friend Abby's. So I even had to borrow from a friend. And 3 was going to be really hot. And
yeah, none of her reasons were valid at all. 0. And so I immediately called you on that, and I was like, "Yeah, you're doing it."
I was going to have to sub out my class.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's real hard." I taught your class. I taught your class so you could go be like a knit girl.
Yeah,
you're welcome. So. Anyway, but
it was really cool. So
it was uncomfortable because you don't think of yourself.
Not in the least.
Yeah.
It's weird because when I'm teaching also, I've found myself in a comfort zone and I try to ignore the camera when we stream. I don't.
You talk to the camera.
I know,
I've watched you.
It's taken me a long time to get okay in front of a camera, and here we are again, in front of a camera. Thanks
for hanging out with me.
No, but I used to cry before photo shoots in here.
No,
literally tears coming down the face.
Cries.
I don't like it.
I remember.
And now I've got my shit a little bit together.
But by doing the thing you found uncomfortable, look at your reward. I mean, the reward was, first of all, and I know that I'm biased with you. It's 100% true. Yeah. But I believe if you see your picture in that magazine, that you are at least one of the most beautiful people they've ever had in that magazine. I'm not kidding. This was a really good shot of you because you were having fun.
Right.
You went, and once you decide you're going to live with this uncomfortable feeling, you just went all in. And I was really proud of you for doing that because I knew it was hard.
Well, I had help. It was a fun day.
She got her makeup done.
Take out of the studio, go get my makeup done. Little eyelashes help.
Yeah.
Abby let me borrow her clothes. I had 2 outfits, this and a pair of shorts, and that black outfit I wore to your birthday, which made me feel festive.
Sexy.
Then Richard had taken my photos before with you, and so I knew he was good, and I felt comfortable, and Whitley made it a really fun event, and the people there were, we didn't know who was going to be there, so to show up and be like, "Oh, hey, you," and meet other people, nobody felt comfortable. I mean, Annie was just like, "I'm so nervous." Everybody was nervous.
I love that, though. But also, talking about the way you felt once you got your makeup and your clothes all on.
Fake it till you make it.
I think But no, there's real magic to that. There's real magic to putting on makeup on your worst day. There's real magic on putting on your outfit that you know looks good on you and going and doing anything. It can pull you. Sometimes your outside needs to happen before your inside can make it happen.
For sure.
And that's the way, I really think that was a great life lesson for me as a model, because I was always, honestly, people that are in the modeling industry generally don't think they're the prettiest person on the planet. They think, oh, wow, look at all these beautiful people. Why am I in this room?
More,
And I used to always feel that way, but I just put on the clothes and just imagine that I was beautiful, and I would be. And so I think anybody that does that in any walk of life, that's a good lesson to learn. And it's not frivolous, and it's not, silly. I think it's magical, and it works.
Right. We know that confidence is appealing and sexy and makes you feel better. And I am one of those people that has deep roller coasters without it. And I like myself more when I am confident, right? I mean, you just feel better. And I can look back on that photo shoot. I'm glad I have it. Maybe it's because it was at the farmer's market, which is one of my favorite places. Maybe that's
can I tell
why
the
I
one
liked
story?
it so much.
So Whitley handed you, what was it, a gourd?
An eggplant.
An eggplant.
Which
well,
we
all
know
know what
the
eggplant
symbolism of
is.
that.
I'm like, what?
Don't hand me that. I was like, give me something round. Give me the tomatoes. And then they all got it. We're like,
Yeah. No, that was funny because she's terrified of a penis. We all know that.
We all know that.
Yeah. So, that was good. So would you say that's like one of your biggest, most uncomfortable moments?
It was before, actually. I mean, once I committed, had the looks, got dolled up, was with friends, they were making it light and happy.
Yeah.
I was good to go.
Good.
So it was the fear before that I had to deal with feeling uncomfortable. And I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm honored I did it, and people have been very kind, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. I can't wait to see the next year and the next year, because I think they do a really good job of grabbing people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And it really, I was pretty subdued. I mean, my style is still pretty simplistic, and everybody was like, bangles here,
but they were themselves.
Hats there, jackets here,
Yeah.
belts here, bags here. And I was like, that is so cool. I mean, I really admire everybody who's ever been in that magazine, and many, many more people, for having the ability to express themselves through fashion. And I say it in the magazine. I mean, you have helped me express myself and become more confident and dress for my body and myself and not for trends, et cetera, et cetera. And that goes a long way.
It does go a long way. I mean, that just knowing you're beautiful, and then when you put whatever makes you feel good on, I mean, I see such beauty in you, and I think everybody is like, oh, I could never do that. A lot of people would feel that way, and for you to say these things to our listeners makes them feel more comfortable and maybe walking into a place and owning it.
Just do it. And I want to touch on one thing that you said, about feeling beautiful, and wrap that up with the workout. I always remember you say a little bit of vanity goes a long way.
It does.
What do you mean by that?
Appreciating yourself. I mean, I think if you want to look good, and maybe that's the only reason you're going to go work out, that's going to take you a long way.
Yep.
If you just go, hey, I just want to be a size 6. I'm going to go work out till I'm a size 6. Well, guess what? That vanity that walks you in the door to work out, or gets you to pick up the weight, or gets you to take that walk, is the same vanity that is going to make you healthier in the long run. Stronger. And by the way, once you start to feel that way, you do start to look that way, your mind starts to see you that way, and you become that vision of yourself. I have nothing but respect for vanity. Now, uncontrolled vanity, oh, I'm so pretty no matter what, and narcissistic vanity and all that, that's very annoying. And I don't want to be around people like that, And again, when I was in the modeling industry, of course I was around people like that.
Right.
Any industry, you're around people that are just like, I can do no wrong. I'm just amazing.
Yeah.
But healthy vanity gets you in the room. Just get me in the room, and I'll do the rest. If you've got to put on that great outfit to get in the room, if you've got to put on an attitude to just close your eyes and then burst through a door and go, I can do this. I mean, how many times I've lived so long, and that's just it. This whole point of being uncomfortable.
Right.
I remember going into job interviews and being literally like, my knees would knock, like scared. Whether I was looking for a dental hygiene job, or I was doing an audition for modeling, or I was doing whatever my job was going to be. I remember being like, I never thought I was good enough. And so since I never thought I was good enough, I had to pretend I was good enough. It's not really fake it till you make it. Imagine yourself and then watch yourself make it. Because you can see it, you can be it. And that's not some kind of saying, that's the truth.
Right.
And we do it all the time, or I do it all the time. And sometimes I look back on the things that I've been and I go, how did I get there? How did I get here?
Truly.
You know? And it was that one step at a time. I didn't see 5 years down the road. I cannot stand it when people go, what's your 5-year plan? I fucking don't know my 5-month plan or my 5-minute plan. What I do is every single time I try to come with my best effort. Yeah. And that effort opens up these windows and doors. And I go, oh, look at what I could do over here. But that's the way I rock. And, and everybody does it a different way.
I would say, too, that you also, you've got to have some faith and trust in other people, too. And the crew around you is either going to help set you on that path or hold you back. Yeah. So I have you in my corner, biased or not, telling me to believe in myself. Mm-hmm. I have, my best friend Abby saying, you're going to do this, wear this outfit of mine that looks great on you. I mean, that's kindness and friendship and support and love. And everybody that day of the shoot was everybody was building each other up. Right. And so I think that's a huge part of your comfort zone. Yeah. Is having support people.
And that's why the Be Powerful. And I love sitting in the studio. And that goes back to the original premise of a woman sitting in my kitchen one day and said, what the hell are you what are you trying to accomplish? We were trying to get like a mission statement. Right. What is this workout you're doing? What is your whole point, Liz? Why are you going to do this? And why are they going to come to you instead of come to other people? And I said to her, I just want women to be powerful, not to control the planet, even though they should, but to own who they are. And that's why that thing is on the wall behind us. I forgot where I was going with that, except that look where I sit now. I know. And it's powerful to support one another. And by the way, your friend who's Abby, who's also my friend, is a 29-year-old woman. You're a 45-year-old woman. I'm a 70, not 75, 70-year-old woman. I love the possibilities of when you really open yourself up to being yourself, and we are ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I'm good friends with a 29-year-old, really good friends. You're best friends with her. I mean, it's really interesting. Think about this.
Don't worry.
When you open yourself up to the possibility of who you can be, and you take care of yourself,
then you might become a lesbian.
Just kidding. No.
Sorry to steal
Whatever
the thunder.
you need to be, you just need to be it. And right now, it is fun being a lesbian. I will tell you. It's fun.
Oh my God.
It's not really uncomfortable right now.
No, it's not at all. It's very comfortable for me.
Yeah, well, good.
But let's wrap back to when you felt discomfort this morning helping me in my car and how the Duke Mansion staycation ended.
Oh, wow, the staycation.
So we had 2 separate cars because I was teaching this morning, so I was probably going to go ahead of you.
Yes.
And I had locked my car yesterday.
Yes.
Put it in my work bag, went to the trunk this morning. It opened, put everything in it, closed the trunk, door locked. I'm like, oh, got to go get it. Thank goodness the trunk has opened. Well, then it was
She had
locked.
to teach the 9:30 class, which was packed, and we were running,
right on time.
We were running right on time. But, also we were going to be podcasting in here today. Yeah. This was today. All happened today. Yeah. And we hadn't had a shower. I mean, we've been staycationing. That includes a bottle of champagne plus a martini. So you can imagine how we felt. Maybe our heads were not really in it to win it when we first got up. We were like, got to go teach a class. Got a podcast today. We'll be fine. And then that happens. Yeah.
I just walked to your car like, we're fucked.
Yeah. But we weren't. And here we were.
Thankfully, you were there with you. Oh, you were barefoot. You said that
earlier.
I
didn't have any shoes.
You were barefoot
I've been
because
all
you
over
wore
Charlotte.
your high heel cloggy shoes to
walk
the
to dinner.
mansion and dinner, and you just didn't grab your tennis shoes.
Right.
So you weren't going to wear your hooker heels into the studio.
I should.
So you just went barefoot because we're
Yeah.
5 seconds away.
Yeah.
And so then I call AAA, and they're going to come, but I'm not going to hear the message because my phone's plugged in
It's
over
a
there
cluster.
teaching.
A cluster.
So then y'all decided to call a locksmith to be helpful because we had to get going, so I wouldn't be
Yes.
there all day because I had to be here. And then you ran over, had to miss half your
Hero,
workout.
heroin.
That's what this story is about.
It's
how Liz is my hero.
Yeah.
Day after day, I wake up and I go, baby, you're my hero, and here's why. Because I never will hear about this story again.
No, you won't.
And the
No, I won't.
$246 that you paid to bail my ass out.
$245. It was fun. It was fun.
Keep the
I'm totally comfortable with it now.
It's fun. Now it's a fucking funny story.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. No, we have fun. And it's just now it's just an adventure out 245, whatever. But we've got another adventure coming up tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so
Listen,
excited.
you know, this is kind of cool. So, unbeknownst to a lot of people, I'm a member of SAG, which is cool.
Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago. I mean, late 90s, Kohl's commercial. Stayed up all night, shot my mother, you know, I'm the mother with the basket with the kids, wearing my Kohl's outfits. And lo and behold, I'm now in this union that is, by the way, amazing. SAG, yes, they will take care of your ass. They will make sure you make good money. So anyway, that was when I was doing that. Well, all these years I've kept up my SAG, and I quit doing any commercials or modeling and all that stuff a long time ago. But I randomly got asked to be a judge this year for the SAG Awards.
Yeah.
And everybody that's a member of SAG, this is Screen Actors Guild, in case you don't know, but everyone that is a member gets a vote. I mean, you get the information in the mail. I remember back in the day they sent DVDs. I got all the DVDs before the movies came out, and I got to vote. And I thought, oh, yeah, this is fun. And then I got bored with voted, and I think my daughter voted when she was like a teenager. Anyway, now all of a sudden I get this letter this year. You've been randomly chosen to be one of the judges, which means I could be like with Meryl Streep or somebody. She could be beside me, or it could be some rando like me from the 1990s that did a commercial and got into SAG, right?
Yeah.
You know, so we decided, because life is short, and this is a really good point. We're like, there's a movie we were invited to tomorrow. I was invited to bring a guest. It's in New York City.
His 3 daughters.
His 3
Or
daughters.
the 3 daughters. I think it's his 3 daughters.
Okay, I'll know when I see the billboard. But we're invited to go to New York and go to this thing. And so we're going to do a 24-hour turnaround. Again, just an adventure. Why not take advantage of it? You know, how many times will I be asked to go to a film
premiere.
and to listen to the actors speak and to decide, because I have a power in this this union I'm in, to decide whether it's worthy of an award or not.
Oh, wow.
What? You talk about power. Anyway, it's just going to be a fun trip.
It'll be fun.
And you want me.
do
You're
you
my
know that
person.
we've never been to the movies in New York?
No.
Right?
Why would you go to the movies in New York?
You wouldn't.
can go to anywhere. Broadway, anything, museums.
Which just feels cool. 'Cause
It'll
we go
be
to movies
really
all
fun.
the time. So we're going to go see his 3 daughters afterwards.
Yes.
3 of the actors are speaking. Maybe we'll meet some famous people, see famous people. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. Maybe
it'll
they'll all be
great.
in jeans and t-shirts,
Maybe
and we'll be
bad.
dressed up in high heels. We don't care.
Whatever.
We're gonna be dressed to impress us.
That's right.
Right? And so anyway, yeah,
That's
we'll
fun.
keep
We'll
you
report back.
posted. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you posted on that. And if you're, you know, I'm going to make a reel on this one.
And we're going to get invited to all of these. Let's see how many we go to.
Yeah, we can't fly to New York every weekend,
No.
but we are going to do this very first one.
Okay.
And see what happens.
I'm
So
excited.
Anyway, comfort zone is out the door. I'm super comfortable if I sit beside whether it's rando Tom or not so rando Meryl, right?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Will you sit beside me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not
yes.
going to leave me at the door.
But I
like,
mean,
I
like,
don't know who she is.
What
She
if,
doesn't
what
have
if,
a SAG card.
What if it is like a bunch of really
would be
top-notch people?
that would be amazing.
That's going to be uncomfortable for a second, a millisecond, and then I'm just going to go, "Who am I again? I know who I am. Let's go." You know, so it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So what's the moral of our story today? So we've got
Step outside your comfort zone.
yeah, and walking in this room is always, which I'm glad we're podcasting in here today particularly, this is my comfort zone. But boy, when you walk in this studio and all these women seem to be like, wow, we've been doing this, we know what we're doing, and you're the new one, that can be super uncomfortable. And I get it. And we all get it.
And we've all been there.
And we have.
We've all done it for the first time.
And I literally, and so do you, and so do all our trainers, stumble over ourselves to make you feel comfortable, but it's still going to be a thing for you. You know, you're still going to go, yeah, well, it's just going to be hard. So know this, it's worth it. If you can make it up the steps, we've got your back the rest of the time. You literally just have to get up the steps, and then we've got you. We've got the lemonade and the Kool-Aid back here for you to drink. It's going to be great. Yeah, I know. You know, so to speak. We're gonna bring you into our fold, and we're gonna make you feel comfortable at your most uncomfortable self. Yeah, comfortable picking up those, you know, seemingly 8-pound weights don't feel like too much, but you do a couple things with them we do in here, and you go, okay, this is super uncomfortable. This is super hard. Get me out of here. But we got you. So
We gotcha.
I am excited that we did. I think we're going to probably end this because I have an idea of what I'm going to do. But
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
yeah. But do you have anything more to say about how uncomfortable you've been in life?
It's been a lot, but I always feel better after, you know?
Yeah.
You got to deal with it. You got to confront it, and I'm bad at that. And, you know, you're never the most uncomfortable in the room, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
You know what it takes to be yourself is courage. It takes courage. And when you're uncomfortable, you don't have to. But if you can muster up the courage to just step forward, do that thing, even if it's just that much of it, then your reward is always 20-fold, maybe more. I think that's the final word.
Yeah.
Have
Thank
some courage.
you for encouraging me. I appreciate it.
Well, you did a great
I
job,
love you.
and you're welcome. And I love you too. And we'll hold hands later in public. Bye.
You trying to let go now? Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.